That girl is one Miss Stefanie Hurt, a girl in love with the outdoors since birth, brimming with life and laughter, the kind of person who makes everyone's day around her brighter just by being there. However, at the tender age of just 24, while she was still celebrating the birth of her son, her family was dealt a terrible blow when her father was diagnosed with cancer, and then just 2 weeks later the unthinkable. An enemy took a direct shot at that life that Stefanie was so full of, in the form of her own diagnosis, that she herself had an aggressive form of breast cancer. She simply refused to let cancer win, or even chip away at her positivity. She made the decision to be stronger than the cancer, and to be a real-life superhero by taking it one step further, and documenting her fight as an inspiration and motivation for others in similar situations. We did what we had never done before and offered to take someone on a fully guided hunt with us for their very own dream buck, and Jason Peterson and I would personally film it for the television show. We did it through an online auction that received hundreds of generous bids. Through this process, we had our own heroes emerge in the form of two selfless, caring, and giving people by the name of Mason Berger and Jason King, buying the hunts for several times the sticker value. Mason from Oklahoma, USA, an outdoorsman and a hunter, had just added being a hero to his resume, as did Jason from Red Deer, Canada, two people so giving and selfless that it renews faith in humanity for all those that know what they did buying that hunt to help Stefanie. Our other hero, and maybe the most giving of all, was our good friend and world-class outfitter, Mr. Lauren Fournier, who graciously offered the allocations and his entire camp and operation at Hunt & Hook Outfitters for this hunt at no charge, a man that we are all greatly indebted to.
Hi, Steph, how are you? Hey, nice meeting you. Hi, how are you?
Good. Nice to meet you.
Oh, there's the brown buck. What an experience. I mean, it's snowing 1,600 miles away from home or better, and this is what I get to come home with. It's a dream come true.
With Stefanie having taken her well-deserved buck at only the second day of the hunt, she was now tagged out. So this week's focus is on our very own heroes and hunt auction buyers, Mr. Mason Berger and Jason King. Welcome back. On last week's episode, Stefanie took her tremendous buck. And now we're headed into the blind with Mr. Mason Berger, with Jason Peterson running the camera. Mason, a long way from his home in Oklahoma, is perched in a box blind over a timber cut watching the sunrise in northern Saskatchewan, and the first deer to arrive is this young buck, closely followed by another big-bodied up-and-comer. As the day wears on, Mason continues to have encounters with good bucks, but all just too young, and Mason and his cameraman Jason Peterson head back to camp for supper.
Ready? Ready.
It's coming out now. Not a bad deer. I don't know if we've seen that before. That's nice.
As the day again fades, though having seen many bucks, Mason doesn't have an encounter with a shooter.
It's an edge of a big clear cut, and there's just a series of meadows back and forth. And these deer are just running back and forth. This time of year when the bucks are looking for does or starting to look for does, it's a good, you never know what's going to show up in the big bush. So we'll just wait for it to get light and see what happens. Seeing bucks, but just not the buck.
Another day with no encounters, Mason and Jason Peterson head back to camp, but this time waiting for them is a great surprise.
Well, we're just going out to have a look. Richard is a fellow that's been coming up here for 15 years, and apparently he shot a giant tonight and they just got back with it, so we're gonna go take a look.
Nice.
Brow time.
I'm happy. We need to finish off the week with more of these. That was exciting.
You're watching Dean Partridge's Canadian Whitetail, North America's premier wild whitetail show.
We just got set up. We're in a different spot today. The boys checked the trail camera yesterday, and there's a pretty nice deer coming in here.
The deer on the Spy Point trail camera was a very wide 4x4 with big brow tines, and little did Mason and Jason know just how quickly they were going to get a close look at him. The first deer to arrive is this young buck, followed shortly by the buck from the trail camera. In person, he was just as impressive as he was on the trail camera, big-bodied and just a beautiful deer. Mason and Jason take advantage and look him over closely and make that all too tough decision to pass, that the deer was just too young, and they let him walk.
Nice looking deer, but it looks like okay. Yeah.
On the way back to camp again, Mason and Jason Peterson get word that another surprise is waiting for them, as Jason King has taken a great buck with his Excalibur crossbow.
Come on. And they drove by and they walked back into the trees, and I didn't
Nice,
think he
eh?
was coming out again.
Going off the trail camera, huh?
And then he less than 100 yards into the bush and just dropped.
For reasons far out of his control, Jason had to leave the hunt a day early, Mason's last day to hunt. Things were not looking good, but we still had our secret weapon. And as I was packing up to fill Jason's role as cameraman for the day, Stefanie quickly stopped me and told me, not a chance. And she explained to me that this had all happened for a reason, and that reason was that I was going to stay back at camp. And she was going to go with Mason on his very last day to hunt, to be his very own camera woman.
Here we are. It's Halloween day. What do you think?
I say let's do it.
Let's do it. We're ready to kill a monster because everyone knows monsters come out on Halloween.
As light lifts on the Saskatchewan forest, the deer begin to move. Mason looks over and spots what he's traveled over 1,800 miles to see, a huge-bodied, mature Canadian whitetail.
Welcome to this week's Canadian Whitetail Scouting segment. Locate, learn, set up, hunt. Brought to you by Big & J Long Range Attractants. The aroma is super strong. The range is super long.
When you're after a specific buck hunting just that one deer, a lot of your time will be spent in one small area, and it's easy to burn your stand out. What can happen is that you hunt that stand so many evenings that the deer in the area become smart to your presence, and they'll even start checking downwind of where you hunt as a standard practice before moving through the area, adapting and changing their regular behavior. Even if your target buck hasn't become aware of your presence, he will have become aware of the changes in those other deer's behavior, and he'll be more alarmed. These subtle changes in a deer's behavior are often what can make or break a hunt. Not to mention that the other deer in the area may be deer that you want to hunt in a year or two, and are fast becoming very educated to your presence. That is one of the main reasons why none of our stands are hunted without using an ozonics. Actively using my ozonics properly on every sit ensures that I'm not creating a scent trail through the air. It ensures that any deer that slip downwind are not busting me, making them want to check the wind the next time that they're through. And most importantly, it's not educating them to my presence and stand location. Ensuring that you're not educating any of the deer in an area that you're hunting a specific buck only means that you can hunt that stand longer and more often. And spending more time in that target buck's backyard can only mean a better chance at a quality encounter. And that's your Canadian Whitetail Scouting segment for the week.
This week's Canadian Whitetail Scouting segment has been brought to you by Big & J Long Range Attractants.
Welcome back. Before the break, Mason finally was about to have an encounter with a mature northern Saskatchewan buck. Well within range, now Mason just needed to wait for a good shot angle.
Yeah. Dropped him down right in his tracks.
That deer was not going anywhere.
Oh, yeah. That was a long wait.
How about that? How you doing?
Good. Got one down.
You had your lucky charm with you?
Yes.
Cameraman extraordinaire, Stefanie?
Yes.
Thanks.
Well, I'm impatient as heck, so let's go look.
Yeah, let's go
look. All right.
Wow. Holy bucket.
Oh, yeah.
Look at
Got some
the
weight to him, eh?
Yeah.
mass on him.
Gnarly basis.
Oh. That's a big deer.
Well, finally got it done.
I honestly can't tell you guys from our side how much we appreciate you guys coming up to hunt, because we made a couple new friends, and it was more on the deer hunt with Stefanie that we met almost 9 months ago now.
Yeah.
And I know the hunt meant a lot to her and to us, and we're pretty pumped you guys got a couple of deer.
Oh, absolutely. I am. I'm not going home.
It was an amazing experience.
Yes.
Yeah. I know that Mason's been wanting to come up here for 10 years, and we got a great opportunity to support an awesome cause, and have you here with us, Steph, and to meet you and Dean and Jason. That was awesome.
Not a doubt in my mind that you guys pretty much kept me alive. So, I mean, I know that this is just a deer hunt, but it's a lot more for me.
It was an amazing experience and great memories that we're gonna have.
Well,
We're gonna do it again, that's for sure.
Yeah. I'm just glad to be a part of it.
I think we all kind of went into it strangers, and I think we're all gonna leave really good friends.
Yeah.
Really good friends. I mean, I don't know what you guys think, but you're not gonna be able to get rid of me because you're like my family now. So.
To walk away with a trophy like this just tops it off.
Absolutely. And then the lodge
Right,
hunt and hook. Oh, it's been, this whole week has been awesome.
Yeah.
We are so incredibly thankful. Thankful that we met such incredible people like Mason Berger, Jason King, and of course Miss Stefanie Hurt. And we're thankful that they've taught and shown us so much about compassion, humanity, and what it means to fight for your life, literally. To many people, this may have just been a deer hunt, but for all those involved, it was so much more. It was about coping, healing, and learning what being a real fighter and a survivor means. Obviously, we don't know what lies ahead on Stefanie's road, and Stefanie doesn't know either. But what we do know is that Stefanie has the fighting spirit of an entire army within her, and the inspiration of 1 million people bundled into one girl on her side, to overcome whatever is needed at all costs, all the while setting an example to inspire others in similar situations, that it's never over, and that anyone can be a superhero. The only thing we know for certain is that for 1 week, for 6 days in northern Saskatchewan, regardless of cancer, treatment, medical bills, or day-to-day stress, we just had fun. We accomplished several goals, and most importantly, we lived. And I have to end by saying congratulations to Mason Berger, Jason King, and of course Stefanie Hurt on 3 tremendous deer. And also a heartfelt thank you for showing all of us that true heroes definitely walk amongst us. We'll see you next week.
Not a doubt in my mind that you guys pretty much kept me alive. So, I mean, I know that this is just a deer hunt, but it's a lot more for me.
For exclusive content, follow Dean and the team on Facebook, as well as on Instagram and Twitter @WhitetailDean. For Canadian Whitetail gear and apparel, visit CanadianHuntShop.com.